Erica Lorraine Spencer here. This is the P.O.C. pattern of conduct, the ongoing real-time documentation of what is the criminal pattern of conduct of federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsection 1 and subsection 2. This is the pattern of conduct underway by a public entity, that is the state of California, that is engaging in federal stalking in concert with the people of the state of California. So this is group conduct. And this is the practicing of what are the criminal elements of monitoring amongst what is the demon possessed. And so this is what is documentation of terrorism as it is underway by a public entity in concert with the people of the state who are in the shoes of the government as this criminal system is in ceaseless operation. And as the state engages in this demented group conduct, this is revealing how the public entity, that is the state of California, that is in the United States of America, how terrorism of an American citizen plays out, what that looks like, how that is facilitated amongst a people, amongst a government, how it is public corruption in plain sight, and not only that, how you formulate policy and how you prosecute that which is demonic conduct, it's demonic activity, but that which is in no way impervious to prosecution in federal court, and being subject to ratification into federal policy. This is the P.O.C. 6 BFA 904, 5 KBY 991, 7 CCW 347, 8 VZC 985, 8 LVD 035, 8 ETS 636, 8 RIN 425, 6 LXD 000. It is currently, by the way, 10:36 a.m. 8 MAH 729, 8 BVK 506, 7 FYM 590, 8 WCK 800. 7 JLC 374, 7 RGZ 595, 8 WSC 430, 6 PQL 224, 6 KHU 633, JOGCHIZ, 8 SBT 732, 7 MBN 946, CGU 363. I believe that's a Montana. Yeah, Montana license plate. 11559D3, 7 PIM 599, 5 ZTS 798.
Alright, I can let you out like right here. The library's open, so I could probably try and quickly register really fast.
6 ROX 879 47637T2, 7897469, 6 XYF 315, 6U HK 037, 5 WTJ 832, 8 RJB 112, 6 UTL 919, 8 RBG 942, WLM MBA. It is Saturday, November 6, 2021. And let me get license 23425D1. P.O.C. All right, it is 2:03 p.m. and I want to document the method of audible activity, which is terrorism, all right? And so you have what is the state sounding sirens inside of study room number 2, where I am inside, surrounded by third-party group stalkers. That is the demon-possessed stalking in the path in study room number 1. Stalking in the path in study room number 3, all right? Stalking in the path via the third-party patrons who are under the fake sun inside of the Upland Public Library. These are the demon-possessed that are engaging in monitoring with the government. And I want to document the state utilizing the method of audible activity, which is sirens. This is impossible audible activity. And doing so while the demon-possessed are maintaining physical presence on behalf of that entity inside of the venue that is the Upland Public Library. It's 2:04 p.m. All right, I did go ahead and capture images of the faces of Satan, all right, while they're surrounding inside of the study rooms. And what you're looking at is a group stalker that is monitoring. Understand, this is demonic activity at its core. This is a stalker. The government is present, maintaining presence. And what you're looking at her, she's getting up and she's crossing path. This is operation of a communication device in directed light in the state's environment, okay? That's federal stalking. It is 2:05 p.m., and that's what you're looking at. And you're also witnessing what is the demonic activity, the simultaneity of her answering her phone as I turn to capture an image, okay? That's the demonic behavioral pattern. But nonetheless, this is operation of a communication device in directed light under the fake sun. That is P.O.C. It's 2:05 p.m. It is 5:47 p.m. and that is stalking in the bathroom stall, awaiting. Let me break down what these demons do, okay? This is stalking. This is activity creation in the bathroom. This is the government also. This is vicarious presence, and this is demonic activity, and this is wildly predatory conduct, okay? While you want to stalk someone in a bathroom, and that's what the entity is doing. And so what you have is, at the moment that I enter creating activity, this is serving for what is crossing a path in activity creation, engaging in federal stalking and wanting to do so while knowledge of where I'm going at every moment, including the moment that I open the door, all right? Doing the same thing as you are going to wash your hands as I'm entering inside of the bathroom, doing the same thing as you flush the toilet while I'm entering inside of the bathroom and getting out, whatever it is, whatever tactics they're employing. I just want to speak to what is the same exact disgusting pervert that is stalking in a bathroom stall, sitting around waiting, because what you're going to understand, what you're going to prosecute is that predatory mindset. Okay, stalking in a bathroom stall. All right, as pathetic as the United States Postal Service is stalking at gasoline stalls, they are the same entity that are stalking in bathroom stalls. This is the same demonic entity. Understand? You just have the entity that is stalking inside of the venue, doing so inside of the bathroom. And they are one entity engaging in that conduct. It's 5:48 p.m. and that's P.O.C. Upland Public Library, and that's the sex offender with knowledge of what you're documenting about its sexual violence. Okay, that's P.O.C. All right, 5:52 p.m. documenting the entity stalking in the bathroom again. And this is, remember, they're already monitoring around the bathroom. This is the entity entering inside, engaging in that sexual violence and terrorism inside of the private space. There is no form in the state's environment, and the entirety of the entity is monitoring while the demon possessed, all right, the freak weirdos, the predators enter inside to create activity for the entirety of that entity that is monitoring outside of the bathroom and all around. 5:52 p.m. P.O.C. Sexual violence at Upland Public Library. All right, capturing images of what is using the doors as a matter of stalking with activity upon exit. This is the simultaneity of conduct. That's the demonic behavioral pattern. Doing so while loitering in a relevant position in the men's room, while the demonic entity enters the women's room and they're surrounding creating activity, okay? This is both breaking down the entity that's acting as one. That's the state acting via employee and acting in concert with the third parties who are entering inside of the venue. And that's what this is, where the state is maintaining its environment, and that's exactly what's ongoing. So that is the demon possessed. Remember, they're third parties entering the bathroom, and you have what is the third party in the men's restroom. They're all monitoring together. This is just inside of the venue. The entirety of the entity is monitoring outside of the venue. Okay, that's P.O.C. and that's sexual violence. I'll be uploading more of those images. That's the entirety of the entity that is monitoring, while a part of that entity enters the bathroom to engage in that sexual violence on behalf of that entity. Commercial actors, government actors, and third parties identified by license plate. It is 5:55 p.m. Alrighty. Like I said, I have exited Upland Public Library at 5:55 p.m. on surveillance cameras, and those Asian females who are engaging in sexual violence on behalf of that entity are now fascinated with the veteran memorial wall while they are stalking in the path as I exit the venue. License 6WNN857, 8XML694, 8EZU257. You already know this one, and I captured this aged demon-possessed stalker, again, stalking, crossing path in directed light while they were stalking inside of the study rooms. 2777UD. That's a handicap plate. License 4SYP504. Group stalking, 7LJR338. It's 5:56 p.m. License 5KHU908. That's a demon at a dumpster stalking with audible activity as I walk past. Down there at the driveway of the Upland Public Library, that's the secretion of noise. That's a demon. And that's demonic conduct. That's a demon in a plane engaging in group stalking. That's demonic conduct by the government. It's 5:57 p.m. License plate 8PNX899. Two 7803Y1 88312B3 8D5. This is correction 054XUJ and 6BER797. All right, the same alleyway where I showed you this demon-possessed stalker that walked past me at the parking lot, beside the parking lot of Dance Dynamics, and his shadow appeared beside him at a distance. While his shadow was to his right side, his shadow appeared also at a distance to his left side, while that inexplicable directed light just appeared in the dirt. Demonic activity ongoing. While the demon-possessed with skateboards and basketballs are walking by, the demon-possessed stalking in the path in front of what is the parking lot in direct alignment with me while I'm documenting those license plates. This is the demon-possessed engaging in that stalking conduct, practicing demonic activity, okay? I just want to speak to the ongoing stalking. That's a pattern of conduct, and I don't have to read a license plate in order to cite that. This is what the people engage in corporately. I continue to identify those that are present, engaging in what is that ongoing demonic activity. 7YBP922 is an identified actor who is in relevant position. They are one entity engaging in an identical behavioral pattern, regardless of the specific identity. It's group conduct, and you have what is the randomness of that environment that follows. 5XYG910. You have what is the randomness of that environment, which is directed light, for example, while supposedly normal traffic is passing by. It's not normal traffic, and that is tethering the entirety of that group. You have what is the stalking conduct, the uncanny ability to always be in the path with a method of light of some fashion, regardless of where I'm at. That's demonic. Okay, this is a demonic system, and this is what the entity engages in, and it is the same individualized method of stalking with light amongst the demons, okay? 5N24623, the demons that are the people of the state. BFN 5983, Arizona. 5KHX 402. 8GQU 381, and this is the parking lot where at a distance that demon-possessed stalker was remaining in alignment to me, aiming their headlights, which again, I've shown you is directed light. All right, so they're aiming that in my direction while I'm walking at that alley at the moment that I arrive. This is the entity tracking, just like I showed you in the parking lot of Foothill Town Plaza, the Chase parking lot. And you're seeing the directed light on the ground while I'm making every move. The state's fake sun remaining right over my head. They're tracking every move, okay? 6XSR 592, doing the same thing. 7WZU 268, 8BKJ 402, and that tracking goes on in the bathroom. And that's going to go for the very violent, well, it's going to be, it's not going to be violent, but it's going to be violent insofar as intense, with regard to that prosecution, because I'm capturing what is violence as the entity is not only listening to my documentation that I've already captured, right? I'm publishing it, putting in it, and updating it and whatnot. And they're also aware of everything that I've already documented, all right? So while you are being a sex offender and you are documenting the entity, and the entity continues to engage in what is the molestation of your person, the sexual violation of the person, engaging in ongoing sexual violation while they engage in affirmative conduct to sexually violate. They're already sexually violating while you're subject to surveillance in the bathroom. All right, that's exactly what the government is doing. All right, they're engaging in ongoing sexual violation, invasion of privacy by an entity. You do not have any privacy, everything that is ongoing. And then you're talking about this is the government that's engaged in surveillance and monitoring. On top of that, this is demonic activity. Let me be clear. The demonic know what you are doing as you're doing it. Engaging in that demonic behavioral pattern of activity creation with simultaneity. This is not just the government. This is the government that is practicing demonic activity in concert with the demon possessed that are the people of the state. All right. There are layers and layers of terrorism and sexual violence combined in that, and what I'm describing and what is the reality of what is federal group stalking and monitoring, and every way in which they engage in that. That's what you're prosecuting. And those sex offenders, again, with all that knowledge, that's why they will suffer at prosecution. All right, not just what they're doing, but how they're doing it, the state of mind, the knowledge that they had while they did it. All right, the criminal intent as to why they were doing it. All right, all of that. Okay, the malice with which they do it. They don't even have any form anymore. They can't sit up with it. They can't, but you're talking about a psychopath who cannot sit up with a straight face and act like they're not doing what has clearly been broadcast of what they're doing. All of that's going to their prosecution. And a very violent sex offender, 8SMJ 306, 8CUS 997, 8DNT 598, 7653482, 8MEJ 736, 7ZMJ 429. 7RLC 882, 7NZE 318, 7XNC 124, 71971T2, 8TWV 498, 7DEM 199, 8BTW 773. Paper plate BS88K90, RSTGYPC, 8RHA417. All right, the demons are pacing back and forth, meaning one driving one direction and another the other direction. This is the entirety of that entity that's pacing all around you in the environment on what is C Street, and the demons that are pacing on what is 9th Street, 6RTY936, while I'm walking in the parking lot getting license plates, 8DMH887. I'm documenting what is terrorism by the entity as I'm speaking to that, what they're doing. 7LLR838, 5DJC145, 8XAL880. 7TPA 418, 7FOV 627. This is Nevada 169XSB, 8RHP 295, 5UXX 182, 5RHH 458. Seven CSF 769. 7FAZ 435, I am on, by the way, 1st Avenue and C Street. It's 6:06 p.m. License 8P18769. This is license 5JZG 177, I believe. Yeah, 5JZG 177. Seven WZA 609. It's 6:07 p.m. I took an image of what is stalking with light in the path, all right? So this is the absence of coincidence. This is the pattern. As I'm walking down another alley, you have what is the presence of a method of light in the path, in alignment with me. And this is in it's not a shopping plaza. It's like a business plaza. I documented all their license plates coming from a LORRAINE image and their indirected light. And this is a demon-possessed stalker that is using their brake lights as light in the path, all right? Just not coincidentally in perfect alignment with me while I'm walking through an alleyway to get a license plate. Crossing path is license 8XPZ927. And this demon-possessed stalker that is stalking in the path using the method of their brake lights, it is 8JXC986. Okay, the other third party, and this is the behavioral pattern of stalking with light, maintaining presence in my path everywhere that I go, and using some method of light, even when it's the state's directed light that just appearing out of nowhere. Okay, you have what is also the third party while I'm walking through a little side alleyway of Molly Super. At the distance, that license plate, I just read the license plates throughout that entire parking lot, because what third parties do incriminates everyone. All right, what the government does incriminates third parties. All right, that's the nature of group conduct, because it's not a coincidence, and they're engaging in that demonic behavioral pattern, speaking to what everyone else is engaging in as well. BM56L24 paper, having established what is a pattern. 8LVW013, a very peculiar conduct. All right, that is also speaking to what is a peculiar environment. All right, that's beyond a coincidence. Okay. You have what is molestation also by the entity acting via 8JXC986. All right. And remember, just like I showed you, their headlights is directed light. And that's a predator that's waiting to molest. And they are stalking in the path. So you are talking about the entity's presence vicariously through them, and doing so where they are intentionally maintaining presence is predatory conduct. Necessarily wanting to touch. And if it was not that third party and I had not got their license plate, this is what third parties are routinely doing while I'm both in transit and while I'm on foot. And I've already documented that. They're doing that day and night. 8GOE223. License 8TOY303. At 204 North Euclid Avenue, license plate 5VSOLAS 7KWM189. Paper plate BR48F40. All right, and the entity is currently molesting. I have two shadows in front of me in the parking lot of the 7-Eleven. All right, who's stalking in the path? With ginormous shadows of their truck on both sides of the truck. B923. Stalking via gas stall number 11 on camera. That is it says Nevada. It's a pink plate. It says little n, little r, and then B923. They're in directed light. They are stalking. Stalking, engaging in demonic conduct of hitting surfaces with light. Stalking in the path, in the path, also in directed light. This is at 204 North Euclid, and they're on surveillance cameras in an orange SUV in operation of a communication device in directed light. RALKANA. All right, 8WON428, also present. It's P.O.C. It's 6:11 p.m. 8JPX822 and 8SNA625. So the license plate of the third party who is in operation of the communication device on the surveillance cameras at the front end of the store, they are stalking in the path with light. Understand what they're doing. They're aiming light. And I'm on surveillance cameras. I'm at the microwave area. But understand this is relevant for the entirety of the store. It's a small store. They're aiming light, and this is relevant to maintaining light in alignment inside of the venue of the store. Where I am standing inside at the microwave area, first of all, this third-party group stalker is maintaining presence. That's manning the path. And you have what is aiming light at that location, which is in alignment with the microwave. The third parties are standing behind, and understand I have picked up merchandise. This is the attention that they're paying, and that they're paying attention to what I'm doing where I am in the store. They are standing behind, maintaining conversation. They're both representing communication devices. This third party is on the outside of the store in alignment with those two men who are at the back of the store in a relevant position. I'm being surrounded, all right? And that is intentional light activity at that position as well. Be clear. The entrance, if I were, for example, remaining at a totally different location inside of the store, they will be that's how they engage in maintenance of presence. I'm speaking to what is positioning. That's entirely deliberate, and these are demons of one demonic mindset engaging in manning the path and doing so with lights. You're recognizing how they're doing the same thing as I'm walking down the alley, and I read the license plate inside of the parking lot of the Allure Image Plaza, the Farrah Fawcett Plaza, whatever this is. I've read their license plate inside of that. This is the same conduct inside of the venue, okay? They're keeping light, first of all, out on the outside, hitting a surface. This is entirely demonic, all right? That's that demonic practice of hitting surfaces around me. The directed light is covering the ground. I'm being molested with directed light. This is why I have multiple shadows. This is why the vehicles have multiple shadows. And they are maintaining positioning inside of the store and outside of the store. Okay? This is 6:17 p.m. I have exited the venue already and completed a purchase inside of 7-Eleven. That is P.O.C. License 6LIE093. License 7D. Hold on. Oh, these menus are so pathetic. I'll go get this white-haired demon's license plate right now. License 7UHY225. It is currently 6:18 p.m., like I said, and that is P.O.C. at 7-Eleven. Understand, I'm showing you the P.O.C. during the day where the fake sun is over this venue, which is a method of directed light and molestation by an entity. The ongoing molestation while the environment remains, okay? And that environment remains while I am inside of the bathroom. While this entity, the same ones that I'm identifying, in other words, let me read this license plate. Let me remind you of this sex offender. AJPX822 is also stalking in a bathroom stall. Stalking inside, engaging in that same positioning inside and outside and around the bathroom, okay? That's P.O.C. It is 6:18 p.m. All right, license plate 8XFS599. All right, I am documenting much at the same time. First of all, the entity is stalking. The entity is engaging in sexual violence. 6215, 6R2, 8HEX. I can't see the rest of that one. And documented ongoing engagement in that sexual violence, molestation, and stalking, and terrorism, okay? I'm identifying what are psychopaths. They're in directed light. There's nothing normal about what the people of the state of California are doing. 7XEP466. This is demonic activity. Routine molestation while they're stalking in the path. 8UMF246. 8COS562. 8LFL546, I believe. 8ERD690. 8YEV859, 8WNW076, 8VIS111, 40966S2. And not only are they molesting as they're touching and crossing path, and they're stalking with the government. So it doesn't matter where I stand. 8CRZ301, you don't have any business stalking with the government. Secondly, 7FMR123, they're all molesting while directed light covers the environment. They're monitoring. 8MI8384, stalking in the path, and they're sex offenders in that regard as well. 5HGK240. It is 6:20 p.m. These are the sex offenders patrolling up and down Euclid Avenue and 9th Street. License. I can't really see none of those. 7. Or I can't see that. 8 WWC 260. 8 SDR 590 is now leaving the venue of 7-Eleven. It's 6:21 p.m. Eight TEY 415, 8 GEN 577, 8 HFH 491. This is Carreras Tours, CARRERAS Tours, in a charter bus crossing path and directed light. License, going south on Euclid, BMA 7N83, paper, 8 SIV 483. 55754 L2. TRCY 7 KRS 111 8 AAA 908 6 RET 115 25 29 7 F2 676, I can't really see that one. 48804 R2, I believe. 81428X3. I think I read those already. Eight GTA 088. Let's see. 8 ECF 341. 8 MVD 952, 8 RWW 205, 8 BSA 898, 7 YCB 428, I can't say that one. CSF 7037. That's an out of state. 8 YKF 141. 8 RKG 444. 8 AIV 192. Quest Diagnostics 43872 F2. 8 NPN 922. 25744 M2. 8 FTR 153. It is currently 6:24 p.m. 8 VVH 376. 8 DWA 734. 8 TQL 195. All right, UPS is crossing path. 5 YGT 387, 8 XGX 524, 8 PVF 608, and that is with every other third party whom I'm individually identifying. UPS, the company, is engaging in sexual violation of my person as well, molesting, while they're stalking with the government. 7 DSP 083, 8 VXW, I can't really see that, 4 LMT 276, 6 CDU 751, CL 690. I can't really see that one. You can scratch that. 7 FBM 729. All right, this is an ongoing orgy. This is the reality of what the demonic are engaging in. They're molesting in an unnatural environment, touching all over my body without consent while they're stalking together. 5VSR 177. And UPS routinely engaging in that sexual violence and life-threatening stalking activity present at the intersection. 8W. Oh, I can't see that one. Demonstrating also demon possession. All right, and that's not limited to that driver of a UPS vehicle. That is speaking to that company. All right, I am revealing what is demon possession.
the very psychopaths incorporating the state of California. It's demonic activity that the government's engaged in. 8LXL654, 7AYL876, 8FWX548. That's audible activity while they're molesting all together in directed light, intentionally maintaining presence, molesting all together. License 8KB649, 7TMM468, 8BES517, 7WFC 498, 7CRZ000, 6UBZ 935, 49179G3, 8RAM148, 7VQZ 077, 7SMB 139, 6HHX 702, 8FHE 981, 8WYB 405, I believe, 7WOU, I can't see the rest of that one, 8UBK 278, 8JFT 288, 8HGP 827, 8PJ0, I can't see that one, 8TGN 879, 7RWP 502, 5VSR 177, 3068 2K2, 8DLF 330, 3PKJ 330. It's 6:26 p.m. Seven VOH 213. Seven TZL072 51241S1 touching. 7 JLX 351 touching. They're all touching, but I mean when they're swiping a by crossing path and touching at the same time. In addition, 8XX30, I can't see that one. 6NTY631, 8VLL361, 5TRC679, 8CGE676, 6JT826, but I can't really see that one that close. 8TJN013, 6MMR886, 7R40725, 6ZW, I can't see that one. Every method of touching, that's what I mean that I'm naming. All right, they're all touching. The state's environment is present, so you're present on behalf of the state, and you're touching all over my body with the state. You're a sex offender, and then as they touch with their headlights, which again is not ordinary light, they're touching again, and they're touching as one. That's what I'm speaking to. License 8TKH459. Uh, 3CKS432. Touching. I can't see that. It is 6:28 p.m. All right, license plate 7. I cannot see this. Hold on. 7XZG206. There you go. It's 6:29 p.m. Oh, here we go. And that is P.O.C. As soon as I get this license plate, hold on one second. 8VJL461 and 8KIL844. It is 6:30 p.m. All right, I want to document demon-possessed stalker operating nothing but a commercial vehicle, identifying Amazon Prime, yet again engaging in what is a stalking conduct and terrorism, and doing so with knowledge of the documentation. This is the reality of what the entity is engaging in. The entity acting via Amazon Prime at the intersection of Euclid Avenue and 13th Street, aiming what is directed light. Remember, they are aiming light as an entity together, engaging in molestation, engaging in that terrorism, engaging in federal stalking, using the roads and the highways, and using communication devices. That's Amazon Prime. And that is approximately 6:34 p.m. It is currently 6:40 p.m. and I want to document that. Acting in concert with the people of the state, representing the people of the state, and that's just identification of another commercial actor using a commercial vehicle. And this is how the government is engaging in what is this criminal system while they are corporately practicing demonic activity. And that is molestation of my person by Amazon Prime while I'm inside of a vehicle, stalking in the path, going out of their way to touch. All right, that's P.O.C. 7LUC 696. Okay, touching 8 VDC 512. 755. I'll go get these over here. They're inside of this plaza. Directed light is present. The environment is always present. And the state sounding sirens while I'm walking to a little market over here. I'm in the city of Upland. So I'm just going to read license plates. This is P.O.C. And the state is also stalking by aircraft. 8WMH228. This is always the case, but I'm just speaking to what am I observing in the environment. Directed light is here, and the state is stalking by aircraft, and the state went out of its way to sound sirens. And that's the entity that went out of its way to touch, okay, that third-party license plate I read. 7NVS043. And this one that drives the opposite direction while one is intentionally touching is the Nevada license plate 755LTP 7VCM745. All right, my shadow upright, double shadows that are upright. Molesting in relevant position. I'm going to get that license plate right there. They're sitting in the parking lot, stalking with light in the path. 7CRZ015 843 MC handicap 7LWS030. Alrighty, they are in directed light. They are stalking in the path as the entity, and the pattern of conduct is well established, okay? You have touching by another group stalker as I walk over to that one. That's a sex offender. I'm gonna document this one. 8XDX772, demon-possessed stalker, 2 Caucasians, sitting in the dark parking lot, molesting with light. Demon-possessed youth, okay? Engaging in terrorism. Monitoring with the rest of them, okay? These demons are scattering about in the parking lot, driving opposite directions. That's the pacing by the entity together, okay? P.O.C. The third parties are a group stalking in their parking lot, getting out of their cars if they were already loitering in a relevant position while this one is stalking in the parking lot. Let me get this. Hold on. All right. I took a picture. Those are third parties that are maintaining presence in the middle of the parking lot while 7VHP 705. They were already stalking in the path. So let me break down what they're doing. You have one that's stalking in the path, aiming light, and again, that's directed light. That's reaching a distance, okay? That's the state's directed light while you are stalking in the path. And I'm already being molested with directed light. This is why I have double shadows and upright shadows. And then you have those that are 7VHP 705 that are sitting in their cars while I'm walking past in another, and those are underage minions. That's demon possession, okay? Engaging in terrorism. That's the government. That's the entirety of the entity engaging in sexual violence with underage minions, engaging in terrorism with underage minions. You're going to prosecute for that, okay? 7XUU197, 88NH039. 94457R2, 8DZS683. And remember, when you're, what I'm doing is dragging, but let me speak technically. When you are prosecuting, you're going to remember the totality of the entity that's engaging in this psychopath conduct. You've got these demons that are fleeing in both directions in the parking lot, in directed light, flying over me, sounding sirens, and as I make any move, you got them skirting past in all directions, all right, maintaining presence in the path and doing so while they are maintaining knowledge of what you're documenting. That is including UPS. They're not separate from this, okay? I documented them. They're engaging in this conduct. They are the same psychopaths acting commercially. Same demonic possession, okay? 8WRZ836. Paper plate BT32M51. License 8UZN305. In the back side of this alley over here, stalking in the darkness and molesting. License plate 7XOP479. 8KVW765, 6FTA262, MUCKRS5. What? Who says I was taking a picture? Why were you sitting in the parking lot? Exactly. Answer your question. Bye. License plate. 8. I already got that license plate. 7LWS030. And let me be clear. Those are the underage minions who are engaging in that conduct. Pulling off is 7VHP 705, 8WOG 605. Hold on. All right, this is pacing by the demon possessed. That's the underage. 8XDX 772, molesting with license 7XOP 479, who was already hiding in the darkness in the back. All right, so she's crossing paths with these underage minions now. She was already waiting in the back of the parking lot with this minion that was sitting in the middle of the parking lot. That was molesting with light, and then he's coming back around. Hey, why were you taking a picture? And they're this is the psychopath that is monitoring. All right. First of all, that's audible activity and directed light. And then you have what is the minion that I documented. She is sitting in the back of that parking lot. There's nothing back there. She's sitting in the darkness, waiting to cross path, stalking in the path. That's what she's doing. And then she is again crossing path while that third party is stalking and sitting around in the parking lot, leaving and then coming back and saying, "Why are you taking pictures?" while they're driving around in circles in the parking lot. Okay. 5 ESD 205. That is paper, and that is not an 8, that's a B, T8OU07, that's paper, going into the liquor store, the Bourbon Street Liquor, where I was walking, where the state was sounding sirens, 7ZQJ414. Alrighty, and sounding sirens while they're fleeing, moving all around, these demons that are speeding in directed light, stalking all around in a parking lot. They're the same ones stalking in bathroom stalls, same ones stalking all around with the state, all right, and touching, all right, and engaging and touching me with little kids. I didn't invite little kids to touch on me. I'm going to prosecute for that. 6HTX537, the shadow of that car moving in a circle around it. Just like I've shown you the demons that walk around and skate around and ride around on their bikes, and their shadows are moving in a circle around their person, they're in directed light. This is demonic activity, and that demonic activity engaging in sexual molestation using underage minions who do not have any consent to touch me. I'm going to prosecute the government, the commercial actors, the people of the state that are all engaging in that sexual violence. All right, they are perverts acting with little kids. Okay, 8VQD331, and that's the nature of demonic activity too. 7JBR534, and then you'll have those minions that come back as they listen to me, analyze that content, and they come back, "Why did you take a picture of me?" when Satan was having a field day molesting me with light seconds earlier. XFATEX, 4SVZ459, 8NQG137. They're loitering in relevant position in a line. All right, that's relevant positioning in light activity. It is currently 7:09 p.m. All right, let's get this demon waiting in the path as I cross, driving forward, shadow of the cars in front of it, license plate, 7M20257, I believe, substantially similar. Stalking in a white pickup truck. Actually, that's like a white utility truck. All right, and this is demonic activity. The demon possessor engaging in what is federal stalking. They're monitoring with communication devices. This is demonic activity. These are demons sitting around, taking turns, speeding by, which is crossing a path in directed light, with ongoing mutual knowledge of everywhere you're moving. They're tracking, just like I show you during the day, what they're doing with directed light. They are tracking your every move, just like the state is over my head with a fake sun. All right, and in that regard, you are understanding what is a psychopath, while demon possessed are acting corporately together to engage in criminal conduct. Right? That's P.O.C. And you're going to prosecute the entity for everything. So you're paying attention to what am I documenting? You have underage men, and this is not the first meeting. I've documented plenty in video and images. The government is engaging in this system that was never supposed to be known or suspected, and does it through everyday conduct, right? Because you're stalking with an environment. You can literally do anything. You can pop your bubble gum in directed light and engage in monitoring. All right, so you're creating audible activity while you are in relevant positioning. That's how that is ongoing systematic monitoring, and it's malicious conduct by the demon possessed who know that that environment is there and engage in that popping of their bubble gum in directed light and relevant position with simultaneity to what you're doing. It's a demon possessed stalker in that demonic environment. That's the P.O.C. All right, so you have what is the state that engages in such conduct with those who are underage. Do you know Amazon Prime, UPS, the United States Postal Service, all these commercial actors, the hundreds, I've documented hundreds of commercial actors engaging in the state's pattern of conduct, and not in any way hiding, but thinking that they were hiding behind some company logo or some company name. And I'm going to prosecute them for engaging in sexual violence, engaging in criminal conduct and terrorism, and engaging in what is the contribution to the delinquency and the terrorism of, terrorism with and by underage children. This is the harm that these companies are presenting while they're engaging in that criminal conduct with the government. That's reality of what they're doing. 7 NVS 043 is now leaving after loitering in relevant position. That's the reality of what they're doing, and that's exactly how you're going to prosecute it for the conduct that they are engaging in. Alrighty, and the criminal activity by the government is dictating that policy. The conduct of the demon-possessed, the psychopath, is dictating that policy, and that's the necessary analysis, for when the entity is maliciously acting through those commercial actors who are they don't have any form. They're in the same directed light, engaging in the same demonic behavioral pattern, all right, in the same environment, all right, and doing it because you got a logo on your car is not any different, and it is no form, all right. Demons swarming, going to third-party facilitating venue. I'm gonna document this plaza because they're all monitoring, but they're swarming while they are in directed light. They're cockroaches, all right, swarming all around. This is the demonic entity pacing all around, okay? And they're using their cards. It's nightfall, all right? This is Satan acting amongst the group, and they're pacing all around and going to venues of stalking in the path they're in directed light. So going to complete a purchase at Bourbon Street Liquor is not form, all right? It's P.O.C. This is terrorism at this plaza, which I will be documenting. I'm looking at, meaning I'm already documenting it now, meaning I will be publishing this on onto my website and onto my podcast, which is what I'm doing now. This is Upland, California, though, and this is P.O.C. It's currently 7:13 p.m. And in the same way, the entirety of the entity is monitoring, because they're all acting on behalf of a government, okay? So the entirety of the entity is engaging in molestation. The entirety of the entity is stalking in a bathroom stall, stalking in bathrooms, being very sexually perverted, predatory criminals, very weird stalkers, the entirety of the entity. And that's exactly what they're doing now at nightfall, and doing it with kids. 7 TSL 181. Touching. All right, going out of their way to drive around in parking spots. They could have drove right through the lane. They didn't. They're coming around to go out of their way to touch me, and touching again. All right, just demon after demon, leaving parking spots. They're stalking in the path. 8WMH228. P.O.C. It is 7:14 p.m. This ain't open. 8KBA 440. Touching. 7DF 535, 7JKZ 449. And that third-party facilitating venue was the Upland Northwest Center at 16th Street and Euclid Avenue in Upland. Currently driving south on Euclid Avenue, passing 15th Street, and the state is tracking via aircraft. License 8LBK032. Passing 14th Street, proceeding south on Euclid Avenue. I'm sorry, this is Mountain Avenue. Mountain Avenue and 16th Street, that's where that was, Upland Northwest. And the state is tracking by aircraft. 7UZT838 remaining present on Mountain Avenue. Alrighty, 13th Street and Mountain Avenue at 7:19 p.m. Monitoring at the Habit at 1213 Mountain Avenue. The Bank of America. I'm at Foothill and Mountain. The same venue where I've been, where the fake sun is directly over me during the day. License 7ZAA 719. Passing the Stater Brothers on Mountain Avenue, stalking at that venue at the intersection of Foothill and Mountain Avenue. They're monitoring. Passing 11th Street now. Remember Mountain Avenue? This is what is west of Euclid Avenue, where the state is going north and south up with its fake sun during the day. This is P.O.C. 7EQA 108, 8RJU032. Monitoring at the 7-Eleven at Mountain Avenue, stalking with light in the parking lot. Approaching Arrow Highway on Mountain Avenue in Upland. License 6VSR370, 7YFN034. 8MSC 207. 2D384Y1. 6YSH422. 8ECJ541. 7JKZ449. Monitoring at the Chevron. I'm still on Mountain Avenue, driving south, passing Lakeshore Learning Center. All right, these are demons. Those same demons in that parking lot. You've got that ongoing stalking conduct, that ongoing environment. These are demons that are stalking, using the roads and the highways, using these venues that are covered in directed light. All right, this is P.O.C. 81320V2. Let's see. 8MOS207. 8UIG468. In case I didn't read that one already. I think I had. All right, Mountain Green Shopping Plaza, where the state's fake sun is over me during the day and directed light inside of that Dunkin' Donuts. That's what I documented. State stalking by helicopter. This is P.O.C. All right, the same ongoing pattern of conduct, same demons monitoring at that venue right now while I'm passing it. Approaching 7th Street and Mountain Avenue. It is 7:23 p.m. 7NCA 628. 8YD923, I believe. Can't really see it that clearly. Alrighty, this is patrolling in traffic with peculiarized light using signage on the road at the intersection of Mountain Avenue and 7th Street. BM07. I can't really see that one. Going into the mobile. They're monitoring at that mobile. Creating light activity in the road with a truck with signage, blinking signage. Let's see. License 7HHV492. 6PXL808. Stock 6FGT548. Stalking with light is 068642. Let me see. This is 068624Z2. All right, carrying a blinking sign on that vehicle. Yep, and that's Security Paving. That's Security Paving Incorporated. The same one stalking with the peculiarized light at the 10 East Freeway entrance under the fake sun during the day when we're crossing paths. License W530J0 6WVW203. Monitoring at the Cane's Chicken, at the Carl's Jr., at the Walmart, of course. We've got ample documentation of the state's fake sun, stalking via airplane, commercial airplane, and helicopter at this Walmart at 1333 North Mountain Avenue. They're monitoring. License 8UIB374. And let's see. And that's exactly what the demons are doing in that parking lot, aiming their vehicles toward what is Mountain Avenue. I'm at Mountain and 5th, where the 76 is. License, let's see. Yeah, 76 is monitoring, has their hazard lights on while he's filling up with gas. This is a white male with a white facial hair. He's got a hat on. He turned his hazards off right now. These are demons that know that they're being documented. You don't need your hazards lights on, period, to put your gas in. That's the tactic of the demon of the United States Postal Service. All right? Engaging in what is malice, because they know that I documented them engaging in that the day before in Fontana. That is demonic activity, stalking with peculiarized light. All right, 5YXH166. In case I did not read that one already. Yeah, 8RJU032 is maintaining presence on Mountain Avenue. 24Y0067. Yeah, that demon knows he was just documented. Alrighty, it is currently 7:27 p.m. N0146, that's a handicap plate. 7ZBX317. WUL352, 8P40613. 47322R2. For VVV 612. 7YMJ 329. Alrighty, and let's see, 6BV. I can't really see that one. Let's see, 5SPX 066. 45538X2. Stalking on the street, 8HSC 791 with their headlights aimed toward the vehicle. This is a directed light. 8HPR 472. 7PIF 261. AJ32P86. These are the same demons that drive by the vehicle, and the state aims directed light all over. 7NMX812. All right, you're recognizing what is an ongoing perpetual venue, all right? And you're recognizing what is a single entity. All right, it's 7:30 p.m. 7DXN 966. It is 9:11 p.m. and every single I took a picture of what is a third party that's crossing path. They're in directed light. You'll see the shadow behind them, and they have a shadow that is to the side of them. And while they are crossing path with simultaneity to my new action on the internet on my phone, their shadow is swiping across while I'm inside of the car. And that's in conflict with what you're looking at in the picture, which is supposed to be a shadow behind them on the sidewalk. But in the image, you'll see what is more than one shadow. This is the demon possessed, and they are stalking with activity, literally walking by and coming out of the blue, engaging in that stalking conduct. They're already hiding around and walking by to touch in directed light while those demons know what I'm doing on my phone. The same thing with the people of the state while they are patrolling on G Street. They're driving in their cars, crossing path on G Street in directed light. Every single last one of them while they're driving by directed light inside of the car, while they are engaging in an ongoing diligent effort to try to obstruct the ability to upload about 4 images onto my website, which I took screenshots of. This is documentation of the entity, the demon-possessed, commercial actors, government actors alike, engaging in obstruction of justice while they're monitoring on the venue of the internet. It is currently 9:13 p.m. 8JFC 336, 6YFH 079.
Nick Jonas, Atlantic Star, and Luther Vandross to start it all off next on 94.7 The Wave.
8TXJ 591. 8SMP, or 8GCN 898. 6BVF 434 51917X2 8WIG 305 7SXH, and you can scratch that one. 5KKX 896 62036H2. It's 9:15 p.m. So this is P.O.C. driving on G Street. All right, and this is speaking to the radius. The government is following. All right, the government is present vicariously, and the government is following, maintaining presence all along the path. All right, so this is going down G Street driving. What is, toward Grove Avenue right now, or at Grove and G Street. And this is driving east on G Street.
Right off the 405 freeway, Bellflower Boulevard in Long Beach. And they're open till midnight. The giant used car sale at Worthington Ford in Long Beach. Shop 24/7 at calworthington.com. Stater Brothers is harvesting hope in our communities. From now through December, Stater Brothers is addressing
7SXW 902. 8 8JAS 370.
At the check stand, or texting Stater to 41444 to donate online. Giving a little means a lot.
8GFE 349.
The Living Spaces Black Friday event, where you can find the best deals of the year. Save big and shop over 100 in-stock collections. Discover our unbeatable sofa deals. Queen beds at just $3.95 and complete dining sets for only $2.50.
8LSP 117.
Y música. Dice hijos. Mis food trucks. Mi paletero.
License plate 7GEP 699. All right, Demon with license 01844N2, 8UIT 046, 8MRH 736. They are stalking in the path, patrolling around, and loitering in relevant position in the parking lot. This is the same venue where Ontario police were group stalking in direct light. It is P.O.C. It's 9:20 p.m. And I took an image of what you're looking at is a demon-possessed stalker who is lurking in the darkness, stalking in their vehicle in relevant position where the car that I'm inside was parked. This is called positioning, all right? And it's ongoing coordinated conduct amongst the demon-possessed when they're engaged in ongoing monitoring. And the state's environment is always present. So this is nothing less than stalking and doing so in the dark in their car, all right? And monitoring on a communication device. Again, that's license plate 01844N2 POC. All right, license 416N81. And these demons in the parking lot, 7GEP 699, stalking with activity while I'm on my phone uploading the videos that they tried so hard to stop me from uploading. And it takes seconds, okay? So over by G Street, the state has that area locked down, surrounded, engaging in ongoing pacing around. They're monitoring here too, but those demons getting out, closing their car doors repeatedly as I uploaded 4 images. 8LWG259. 8K NZ125. And touching with light. Let me get this demon over here. Touching with light is 8NMK604, 7GVM112, 7AVB144, 8UIT046, 8MRH736, 8TDK195, 8WYA098, 6RDU083, 8XEE362. They're all in directed light. All right, this is the demonic. I'm just gathering names. These are the demon possessed, and they're engaging in criminal conduct. They're monitoring, using the roads and the highways to do so, engaging in sexual molestation with the government, stalking with the government while doing so, and engaging in what is terrorism while they're practicing demonic activity with a government. All right, and they are engaging in, this is the roads and the highways. I want to be clear. They're driving. They're in vehicles utilizing means of interstate commerce in that regard as well while they're engaging in monitoring. The demon possessed are capable of knowing what you are doing. Where I'm inside of a vehicle, that ongoing demonic behavioral pattern, closing the car door while I'm inside of a car, long pressing on the screen, uploading a picture, etc. Those are demons. That's demonic. What the demon possessed are engaging in is a federal stalking. All right, that's POC. It's 9:28 p.m. 5HEC 278. They are lining the path, meaning at the stop signs, at stoplights, to touch with light. Let me get this one. 8HKK. 8HKK 833. 7NOP 668. Oh, they're blocking the driveway. This is the property that I already documented, the Alta Avante, excuse me, 8XXY 806, 7TGY 150, stalking with their hazards. All right, this is POC. 7THS 977. That's an old white woman. I'm telling you, it does not matter what your race is, what your age is, all right, what your job is. The same demon possession. All right, this is the condition of the people of the state. It's 9:29 p.m. 5KTB 846. XPL 022. right, license plate. Stalking at the stoplight. 6HRA 556. Seven JEK095. 8L. I'm sorry. Yeah, 8LLD 679. 7UMW098. ELYEE 7RLF 816. 6XBF 912. 8UEN 572. Eight REP 948. 4 PVX. I can't really see that one. You can scratch that. 58506 G3. All right, and as I showed you, 6NSS134, the state is cycling directed light through the vehicle. Okay, you have what is the movement of directed light throughout the vehicle across my person, which is not coming from the street lamps that you are driving underneath on the street. The state is cycling light through the vehicle. All right, this is systematic monitoring. All in addition to what is the people of the state that are touching and aiming light. 7EPY228, 6GYU620. The state is cycling light through the car. Okay, 7GNC482, 7HYB995, 84366 E2. 98630L1, 4ARL175, 6LFP030, 8JTL076, 8GQW620, 6YIX428, 8VEP921 touching, 8VAV523, 7VVF323, 6SOG737, 7NQZ419, 7RDU914, 6YEE349, 7ROE589. That's audible activity and directed light. 7RYV427, 7HYJ138, manning the path. License 04539K2. And touching. All right, the state cycling light through the car while I'm driving by that stalker that is intentionally remaining on the side of the street with their headlights on. 8HCL306. 7APP445. 47656X1. I'm sorry, that's RS. Well, I can't see that one. You can scratch that. 7SRD412. 8XTF911. 5GEP420. 8N70585. 8PDB933. 8HJY172. 7EIC711. 4XAZ046. It is, by the way, 9:34 p.m. All right, stalking in the path, doing like the third party was doing in their truck. This is a commercial truck. License plate 2372860. That's a Maine license plate. This is a large white truck, nothing on the trailer. It is being driven by Miguel Express, U.S. .2588709, VIN 6. I'm sorry, the VIN number is BO3766. And the front license plate is JC68FR. And Pizza Hut is crossing path. Pizza Hut is driving license plate 7JM. Hold on. Monitoring with communication device in hand. Go on ahead, Pizza Hut. This fat face group stalker that's demon possessed delivering a pizza, stalking in the path. That's how systematically, and that's how the entity may monitor in the state's environment, exposing Pizza Hut to prosecution. Let me get this license plate. 7JMB 484. There we go. And that truck looks like a bald African. He looks like an African, not African American. He looks like a straight up African, or maybe a Haitian, or maybe a Jamaican. But he's all bald, and he appears to be of an African descent. Stalking in the path. That's P.O.C. And those are the types that we're going. They're going to be deported if they're not natural born citizens. He appears to be an African. It is 9:36 p.m. All right, license plate 5BYJ743 7MSL276 8MDK540. Alright, read that one. 7YAK814 8Y11949 7WON118 8D2A6Z. Let me get over here. 6XUS 165 8HIL 922 7FNG 907 549TA handicap. Seven AGD 443 6 U.S.C 795. M772GO 8WPV. You can scratch that and see the rest of it. 4WYJ700 8TUJ420. That's train activity while I am at what is H Street and Euclid. Group stalker, that's impossible audible activity. A group stalker is lurking on the side street, touching with their headlights. Knows that I stopped. I'm going to go back and get that license plate while the state's sounding train activity and they're stalking in the path, engaging in terrorism and molestation. 8RCG330. A demon-possessed stalker with knowledge that they're being documented. That's P.O.C. Monitoring with what is 7ZGR866. Monitoring with what is the state-sounding train activity on, let me get you the actual street. Hold on. I'm going to make sure this is H Street. H is in Henry. This is, yeah, H as in Henry. That was H Street and Euclid Avenue where you cannot hear any train activity. That's Union Pacific. That's going to be attributed to Union Pacific because that's where the train is in Ontario, and they're not ignorant of that. They're engaging in ongoing POC while I'm at the museum, all right, using Union Pacific on the Amtrak train tracks. And this is the state that is just creating any method of noise while a third-party group stalker is trying to avoid being documented. All right. They did not stop. They did not continue driving. They stopped because I stopped because I was about to get that license plate. And then the state starts sounding train activity, which you cannot hear it at Euclid Avenue and H as in Henry Street. 7KXS583 8RZB. I can't really see that one. You can scratch that though. BSDNA 77. That's P.O.C. It's 9:40 p.m. All right, molestation by license 6YOX838. This sex offender cannot get enough, all right, and doing so with a minor child in the car. Doing so while she's also aware of what I'm doing on the internet. I'm online, and she is, the state is aiming direct light inside of the car, and she is engaging in molestation right now. I'm going to get this, hold on. All right, that's the same violent sex offender that likes to engage in sexual violence and demonic activity using her minor children. All right, that's P.O.C. And that's what I just took an image of what is molestation and intentionally molesting with light. Okay, like the creepy demon-possessed stalker she is, creeping beside the car, walking in directed light, engaging in demonic activity with her kids and with the demons that are walking all around with their shadows on the walls and on the floor. Okay, that's a demon-possessed stalker that lives at venue 325 West G Street. That's P.O.C. That sex offender touching again in concert with the government with her minor kid, not her little demon-possessed kid, nor her have consent to touch. That's sexual molestation. That's P.O.C. It's 9:58 p.m. All right, it is currently 11:12 p.m. and this is to document the ongoing molestation and terrorism with the state's directed light, and specifically utilizing heavily the third-party facilitating venue of 325 West G Street. While the state is aiming its directed light, creating moving shadows, magnified size of objects as the state is aiming its directed light, and with simultaneity to the demon-possessed who are crossing path with real-time knowledge of what I'm doing on my phone. This is the demon-possessed engaging in federal stalking. This is denoting what is the venue. That is 325 West G Street. That is the same status of every third party in relevant position, engaging in demonic activity, stalking in the path with the government, in the environment, in relevant position while I'm at 630 North Fern. It is 11:13 p.m. and the state engaging in that ongoing terrorism while they are, the entity is maintaining presence, stalking together, engaging in absolutely demonic conduct. That is terrorism while they are engaging in federal stalking, using the roads and the highways, monitoring on communication devices on the venue of the internet, and engaging in sexual molestation while doing so. This is P.O.C.